Hello. Hey, in this video, we're going to look at the handy things to know about shapes inside of Canva. And if you hang to the end, I will also give you some super sweet navigation shortcuts that you'll find are super useful now that you are getting a little bit better in Canva. All right, let's go. All right, so shapes are easy. They're under elements. We looked at it a second ago under shapes. There's a bunch of pre-made ones. Okay, let's just add something else. Let's go to anyone. Okay, you've got a little bit of control, but not much. Okay, so if you are thinking, oh, how do I add one more star point to this? You can't. What you can do is you can say, all right, and here I can say the corners, I can round them. So there's very little you can do, okay, but there are some things you can do, like adding a border to it, okay, for around the outside, and you can decide how rounded the corners are. The other interesting thing about shapes is that you can change them. Like this here was a circle shape, okay, I can go into here and say, hey, you change to now this kind of more like, I don't know, award-winning wine foil sticker thing. So that's cool. You're not kind of like forced to keep it the way it was. Same with this rectangle here. I'm not sure what we'd want to, but you could go through and say, all right, I want it to be, well, I can see you want it to be this. You can adjust them obviously slightly. You can make this thing, you know, it could be elongated, okay, and squished and rotated, but there's not too much control about what you could do other than rounding the corners. But it's good to know you can change them. I'm gonna use my undo key. Okay, remember Command or Control Z. I'm gonna leave that as a nice little star. I'm gonna get rid of you. One last thing about shapes is frames are quite similar to shapes, right? They look the same, but obviously they crop images. You don't have the ability to go through and change a lot of these options like you can do with a shape. So they're kind of the same, kind of different. That's one thing I keep trying to do is like, all right, I want you to be a square or a star now. You can't do that. You'd have to go through and detach the image. So they're separated, add a star. So we're gonna use our super sweet shortcut, the / key, and I'm gonna type in star, okay, star frame. Hit enter, okay, so it does a search. I'm going to say which one, I don't know, that one, okay, and I'm going to then go U and try and drag it in, and it's a long way. It'd be great if you could just change the shape, but you can't, and that's something to know. And we got to practice our super sweet shortcut. I'm going to go undo, 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 so I'm back to where it was. And I promised you at the beginning a couple of other little shortcuts that are just quite handy when you are using Canva a lot. We've been using this kind of page scroll way of working, okay, well, I have been at least. Sometimes when you're doing posts, sometimes it's easy just to work in this kind of, what do they call it? So scroll view versus thumbnail view. And then you can just kind of like cycle through these or use your page up, page down. Okay, we'll cycle through them. Makes more sense maybe for our Instagram post. The other one is I do a lot of zooming in, like when we were working in here, remember zoom in is Command plus, okay, or Control plus on a PC. And I'm in there working on my lines and then I want to zoom out. Often the best option is to go U and go to fit, okay, but there's no shortcut for it. Well, at least it doesn't say there is one. So I'm going to zoom in. Okay, the shortcut is Command Option and 0. Control Alt 0 on your PC. I'll make sure that's in the shortcut sheet, but I use that a lot. It's just a great way of getting to a nice view. Bit of a weird one though. Command Option 0 on a Mac. Control Alt 0 on a PC. And the 0 is the one along the top of your keyboard. Okay, with all the numbers. 0. They know what 0 is, Dan. All right, that is shapes, the things you can and can't do with them, plus some sweet navigation tricks. All right, I'll see you in the next video.